Do you want all the wild sexual exploits of a porn star without having to put your face on the internet? Yes? Well then the swinger scene is for you, my friend. My name is Stirling Cooper. I'm an award-winning adult film star, a former high-class male companion, former single guy in the swinger scene, and I'm here to help you improve your sex life. So first of all, if you want to get into the swinger scene as a single guy without a partner, you need to understand and learn where your local swingers network connects and meets and exchanges messages and things like that. Now, when I got into the swingers scene as a single guy back in Australia in my early and mid-20s, I got into it through what's basically like a swingers dating site called Red Hot Pie. Still exists in Australia. If you happen to be in Australia, and then if you're into this sort of thing, I'd recommend you jump online and try that. But if you're not in Australia, if you're in other places, like America or Europe, there are different websites, there are different forums where you can go online, set up a profile, just the same way you would set up a dating profile, and basically network your way into the scene that way. Now, this is not the easiest thing to network your way into. I'll make that perfectly clear. It's actually very, very hard to do this if you are a single guy. Because here's the thing, in the swinging scene, you have like the rarest, most searched after commodity is a single woman. What they're called unicorns in the scene. Basically, the single woman who likes to play with couples or other girls. Those are the girls that everyone's searching for. No one is, and then couples tend to pair off and partner off with other couples. They tend to partner swap and then engage in play that way. Play is the scene term for having sex, basically. Now, single dudes, on the other hand, are friggin' everywhere. So it's, the thing you've got to realize is you've got to try and stand out above the pack. And more importantly, you have to come across as a dude who isn't super thirsty. That's really, really important. In-person events are typically the best way to network in this scene because you can just stand out by being a really charming, handsome motherfucker. Now, obviously you want to be well-groomed, you want to be, in shape. The same principles apply for regular dating. So if you haven't got yourself in shape, if you're not good looking, you don't have to be super good looking, but you should just be in shape, well-groomed, presentable, charming, easy to get along with, a sociable guy. If you've got all these things going for you, then this is going to be a breeze. But if you don't have all these things sorted out already, well, then this ain't some kind of quick fix solution to getting unlimited sexual access. Now, the key for me in terms of penetrating my swingers network back in Australia was really befriending some of these single girls and getting on their radar and playing with them, first of all, and then having them invite me to parties where I then engage in all kinds of crazy group sex, and good lord, it was a hell of a lot of fun for a dude. I'm not gonna look, bit of a segue, but if you're a dude in your early 20s and you're like horny as fuck and you want to just bang like every woman in sight, going to like a swingers party is an absolute dream come true. Especially if they're good. If it's a higher class, higher tier kind of swingers party, they're all good looking people. Because you'll notice when you get into the scene that there's like the older, uglier, fat people, and then there's the hot people. Those are the parties you want to go to. You want to go to those top tier parties, get invited to those ones, where all the hot chicks are. And man, that is a lot of fun. Now, for some reason, like knowing how to make a woman squirt was this sort of super sought after skill set when couples were looking to like partner off with like a single guy. So if you'd like to learn how to do that, as well as a whole bunch of other impressive bedroom techniques, then I highly recommend you check out my video course. Link's up here. So what are the keys to success as a single guy in the swinger scene? Like this is what's going to get you invited to parties, it's going to get you networking, it's going to get couples recommending you to other couples. So you're going to be like banging some dude's wife, either with him or while he watches in the corner. That's very, very common in the swinger scene. So you kind of want to get this good reputation for you in the local community. So what are the keys to this? Because that is what's going to make this actually work. If you can't get a good reputation, well, then you're not going to have any success. Don't be socially awkward. Be a fun, social guy who's easy to get along with. This is kind of goes without saying, but it's pretty foundational to this entire thing. It might sound superficial, but being attractive, being in good shape, being well groomed, and having really good dick game are gonna allow you to network more and play with more couples and with more single girls and get invited to more parties and things. It sounds, like I said, it's definitely superficial, but you gotta realize that you're a dude. You don't bring anything of value. You don't have a vagina, so you're not really well sought after. So you've got to kind of, you're taking this kind of role of the bull, if you will, in the cuckold fantasy. You have the cuck, there's the dude that's whose missus is cheating on him, and then you have the bull, and you're the guy who she's cheating on him with, right? But here's the other important thing to note is in the swinger scene, you don't really use, for the most part, you don't really use that kind of derogatory terminology. They prefer to use the term open relationships and partner swapping, partner sharing. So because there's a key distinction here, you need to understand this between like the dude who's into being cucked and the dude who's into like sharing his partner and seeing her get off. Two different things. Like one is about him being humiliated. He gets off on the derogatory humiliation side of that fantasy. And the other guy, and this is what you're more likely to find more often in the swinging scene, is a dude who just likes the perversion of it. He likes sharing his partner and he likes seeing her enjoy herself and he likes fucking other women, right? So it's really important you understand the distinction there because you don't want to cross like a line and like kind of, you don't want to be in the middle of banging some dude's wife and then degrading him or something. And he gets pissed off and then bang, like your reputation's shot through and you didn't understand the social landscape and the sexual landscape you're getting involved in. The biggest key to success, in my opinion, as a single guy in the swinger scene though, is befriending the dudes first. You might think like walking to a party and hitting on all the girls and being charming with all the girls is the route to success, but it's not. Because if you want to fuck a dude's wife, you have to win him over first. That is the key. So if you befriend the dudes first, make him feel like the big boss, make him feel like a fucking champ. Really easy technique that I used to use all the time was complimenting him on how beautiful his wife is. Be like, damn man, she's fucking smoking hot, you lucky son of a bitch. That kind of stuff, really, like it makes them feel like the big boy, the big boss, like they feel like yeah, fucking hey, you're right. Like, look how hot she is. Like they feel lucky, they feel like they've got status, you're stroking their ego. And then you would follow up with something like, is your partner open to playing with single guys? Or is your partner, or can I ask her, ask his permission first, right? Do you mind if I ask her to play? That's how you would phrase it. Do you mind if I ask her to play? Because by asking him first for permission, it's showing a level of respect to him. And again, making him feel like the big boss. So if he respects you, then he's going to big you up to her and be like, baby, come over here, I want you to meet this guy, this very, very charming Australian man called Stirling. So he is going to do the sell for you half the time. And if you're, not socially awkward, friendly, social guy, well-groomed, like in good shape, then for the most part, she's going to be into you. It's not that hard. Especially in the swinger scene, everyone basically fucks everyone. It's like the typical like standard for like how, like you don't have to be like uber attractive for like most women in the swinger scene to want to fuck you. They're pretty nymphomaniac types as it is. They fuck a lot of dudes. Very, very carefree sexual lifestyle. Obviously, if a woman turns you down, don't get butthurt. Be a gentleman about it. Be like, oh, no problem at all. You have a great night. The worst thing you can do is get butthurt and offended and get real pushy about it, because that shows a complete lack of social calibration. It shows the thirstiness and neediness that I told you at the beginning to completely avoid. You do not want to be that guy, because there's so many of those guys in the swinger scene. And those are the guys that are trying to get out of the scene, right? So you don't want to come across as super thirsty. If you get turned down, she says no, that's fine. There's plenty of people to talk to in a swingers party. You keep moving along. Or if you're doing this through an online dating app, again, be a gentleman, because that'll make you stand out. If she rejects you, say, if you're DMing a woman on like an app like FetLife or Red Hot Pie or something like this, if she turns you down, no problem. You have a lovely evening. It was great getting to know you. Best of luck. Whatever it is. But coming across as a gentleman is going to be good for your reputation, because you might end up seeing that person at a party later on. And if you were a butthurt little bitch about it, she's going to remember and she's going to spread that word. But if you were a gentleman about it, she's going to be fine with you at the party, right? Now, if you find a single girl at a swingers party, the correct way, or swingers party, swingers event, whatever, the correct way to ask her if she wants to have sex with you is to go up to her and say, introduce yourself, have a little bit of a chit chat, and then if you want to move things towards the bedroom, you would simply say, do you want to play? That's it, that's the phrase. Do you want to play? That means, want to go bump uglies, right? Now you've got to be aware at swingers parties or events or whatever, there's going to be certain different types of rooms. There's going to be like private rooms and there's going to be public rooms. So you kind of want to be aware of, well, one, what you're comfortable with. Like, are you an exhibitionist type? Can you get your dick out if other people are watching? That's important, because if there's no private rooms left, then you're going to have to fuck in the public rooms or in the living room at someone's house with all these people watching. So you kind of got to be prepared for that eventuality. Also, is she a public person? Is she an exhibitionist? Or would she rather do it in private? These are important. So understanding the layout of the venue you're in is also super important, so you can pull to the correct room to bump uglies. Now, single women are super rare in the scene. That's what they're called, unicorns. They're hard to catch, right? So typically, if they're at a party, they've been invited along to the party by a couple. So again, same strategy as before. If she's with a couple there, you kind of want to befriend the couple, befriend the dude first, then befriend his wife or whatever, and then ask, kind of be like, be respectful about it. Oh, do you mind if I talk to your friend for a minute? Or whatever like that. So you're just addressing the respect issue first before trying to sleep with this woman that they've invited to the party. Because you got to remember that if they've invited her to the party, they probably want to fuck her. And if they haven't fucked her yet, maybe you have to wait until he's had his go with her, and then she's sort of free reign, and then you can fuck her afterwards, right? somewhat sloppy seconds. But they usually use condoms in the swinger scene. I'll also add in here that you should always be respectful to couples of their boundaries, right? And the boundaries they have in their relationships. So, for example, you might get permission to play with some dude's wife, but they have the rule that they don't kiss, or they have the rule that there's no butt stuff, or only blowjobs, or no blowjobs, or whatever the rule is. Like there's some, or maybe he doesn't want you to be too heavy-handed with her, like spanking and choking and stuff like that. Maybe he wants you to be a bit less rough with her. It's important to discuss these things with the husband first before you do that with the wife. So you understand what the boundaries are, so you don't, again, get a bad reputation, you don't have, cause any drama or a scene or anything like that, and the experience is generally a well-received one for everybody involved. Now, like I said, there are plenty of online forums and listings and Instagram pages and stuff all around the world that will basically give you events and things you can go to network and meet people in the scene. Some of these are play events where there's going to be like a venue where there's rooms and stuff, and some of these are just going to be meet and greets. Either way, this is how you want to kind of get your way into the scene. Face-to-face is way, way better than trying to do some stuff online. Although, if you don't live near those events, then starting online and then starting on forums and things, and then moving on to the in-person events when you get an invite is obviously the way you go with that. It's really a big human chess game, and understanding how everybody knows each other, understanding the sort of hierarchies within the community, who likes who has played with who you have to sort of win over first before you can play with somebody else is the real key to success in being a single guy in the swinger scene. Now, the swinger scene is, like I said, this place where you get to engage in all these very uninhibited and completely perverted sexual experiences. So, if you want to learn how to be completely unashamed of being a pervert, I suggest you watch this video right here.